fam. It is the even more fabulous Mother Love, and who is in the building with me. But I have to say right now, you all have to come way up on the ladder to outdo this guy. This is Shaq C. And just let me tell you a little bit about this young man. Uh, he and his mother and grandmother watched Forgive or Forget those many years ago. And you say, okay, you tell the part. Go on, Shaq. You tell them. This is Shaq C, who loves me. Okay, go ahead. On.
Well, yeah, me and my grandfather watched Forgive and Forget as a kid, and I would always watch it first because of the theme song, and I loved it because it was a great theme song. I think it's one of the best that's in talk shows. But I wish I could get a complete copy of it too. We've never been able to hear that, but I loved it so much. And then when they reruns started airing on Bounce TV, I I did not have cable. I had no sense of getting any type of thing, but I did have a VCR and I had an antenna. So I went out and I bought a whole bunch of blank tapes, VHS tapes, because again, I was poor. I didn't have a job. This was 2013. So I ran out, I got a whole bunch of VHS tapes and I started recording Forgive or Forget, the reruns on Bounce TV. And then this was only for myself. I only did it for myself because I didn't think nobody knew what the show was. But so I would watch them on repeat and watch them. And then when I had my computer, I decided, I looked online, I searched for Forgive or Forget, and nothing was on, and especially on YouTube. And I thought, well, that's weird. Why isn't there anything about this show? It's like a whole bunch of shows that people record, but there's nothing on Forgive or Forget. So I decided, you know what? Why not share a video? And I decided to hook up my computer to the VCR and capture all the Forgive or Forget tapes I had onto my computer. And I uploaded them to my computer and I uploaded them to my YouTube channel, edited them, and I posted them. And the first video I posted, it was a shock to me because I didn't know other people were fans of the show like I was. And so I said, wow, this is great. There are more Forgive and Forget fans. So I said, I might as well keep doing this. And I kept doing it. And it's 4 years later, I've done about 100 and almost 50 episodes of Forgive and Forget of both runs. And I'm just a huge fan of the show. And God has now brought me here in connection with the Mother Love, and I'm still surreal that this is happening.
We are here and we are humans and we connect as humans. And you didn't see any faulty wall or fiddly dee in it. Google it, y'all. You'll find an answer to that. Just Google. And the fact that you took 4 years to record these shows, 3 years to edit these shows, and put them out here for people to see, know, and understand. We did a good thing. We continue to do a good thing. I can't say that I never thought it was ever going to be over, honest to God. And then when you came along, I was like, oh, it's getting ready to wreak havoc and run amok. You cannot change the truth. And I was watching episodes and I was looking at them as a viewer, and it's amazing to me that it's something crazy, but to watch the people and the angst that a lot of them have gone through, the lies them son of a biscuit eaters would tell, and and everybody said, "My mother, you real on it." Okay, well, somebody need to be up on their hump because they acting stupid and they running wild and just crazy. You are now out here in the world, and you're making no sense, and you got that. And so many more people got that. Okay, so tell us about the relationship with your grandmother and you and your grandparents watching this, and what was that like for you that these generations could connect over a program?
Well, it was really my grandfather. It wasn't my grandmother because my grandmother is in a nursing home. But my grandfather, he was just a TV fiend. So I kind of got everything from him. Like he watched sports, TV, like everything. He would just be on the couch. And that's where I would see him. He'd be in front of the TV. And I got most of my love of TV from him and my mother. And it's just, I just wound up loving thinking about the business and watching TV. And so Forgive or Forget was one of his shows that he would watch. And sometimes I would go downstairs and watch Forgive and Forget with him, and he'd be commenting like you can't help when you a show like this, you can't help but comment to the TV. It's one of those shows where you got to say, "Oh, you so stupid! Why would you do?" You know, my grandfather would just be, and I would again. I was 10 years old. So I wouldn't understand what he's talking about. But he's yelling at the gas, and he's like, "Go, mother love, go! Tell them they stupid." So like just encouraging it, but it was just a great bonding time with my grandfather, just to know that a show like that, we didn't really have a lot in common, but that was something that the two of us liked a lot. And so I just love that this show was the guiding force between the two of us. And I think that is a testament to how good the show was, because the fact that me, a 10-year-old, and my grandfather, a 70s plus year old, it would have the same reactions to the show.
That's human connection. And the fact that you guys bonded like that, I get really overwhelmed that people see what I do is a tool, it's a bridge to helping each other, put out your forgiveness. Don't hold all that animosity in your heart. Some people get so angry, and for so long they don't even remember why they mad.
Yep.
And the fact that they were willing to come on the program, and it was really, really it was a game changer to see people who are holding on to stuff that you don't need to hold on to. And you either got to forget them, and let them go so that you can be whole, so that your life is all right. And you can say that you've risen like a phoenix through the trauma, through the anger, through the heartbeat, and you rise up and you come up like a phoenix and say, I can do this. And people always think that we know we done did something wrong. Oh, I know I done did some way wrong. And when it's time for you to have to step up to that forgiveness seat and say, okay, yes, I did this. And oftentimes I say, I didn't mean to do it. I could never understand though how could a fella accidentally and didn't mean for, and she didn't mean for it. It just what happened that you put your body parts together, and now you done made another human being, and then you go to somebody else and you say, well, I'm not whole. And you don't know who your baby daddy is. That you wait. And I to this day I see the pain in his voice and their heartbreak, and they go, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And that's why we were there. That's why we are still here. Because even when they kicked me off the TV show, that did not stop the reign of pain and anger and dismissive relationships that were still going on in the world. So what see, I had to talk to this guy Shaq, because kind of knows who I am and what I am. And when y'all saw me on the program, I'm telling you, I was looking for the filter. I wanted to have a filter right. And yes, you bobblehead idiot, and it just came out, bobblehead idiot. Okay, so that's where I came from, and you found a place in your world, in your heart, and you knew what needed to be done. What did you see that needed to be done? That you would take 7 years of your life and your time to allow this venue for people to see that there's a way, that there's a positive way. You could do this, or you could do that, or you could do, because you can't forgive and then you don't forget. You can't forget and you don't forget. Shut up, mother love. Okay, go and tell the story. I was having a moment.
Yeah. Well, see, what I noticed in the atmosphere, there's so many of the and again, there's no shade to any of these shows because I love them all. But Maury and Jerry Springer and Steve Wilkos, like very like conflict driven shows, which they have their purpose too. But I feel like that this show, more than any other, really dealt with the heart of people's issues, and it really touch them in a way that they can feel, number one, feel safe with you and feel vulnerable enough to, yeah, it was national television, it was a studio audience and cameras, but they were very open and they were very, stuff that, we probably, if the families was probably the guests on the show probably watch, oh, why they on that daggone TV telling this lady they don't even know about all the dirty laundry, because they felt comfortable. And some places some even outside of TV, something you go somewhere you get judged and you'll be told, oh, I'm going here, I'm paying you this much, but you're telling me something that I could have heard somewhere else. But this show was so, it wasn't therapy. It wasn't it wasn't like Dr. Phil where, it was like down to the bone, like therapy, all that stuff. But it was just down home advice and just relatable advice from somebody that we all could relate to. It wasn't, I thought you could have been my grandmother watching the show. So I feel, well, I mean,
how about your great aunt? How about I could be your great aunt?
Great aunt, that's good. But you know what I mean? But so the reason why I felt like this show was needed to be posted is that I'm not, first of all, I wasn't seeing it anywhere. And then second, I know, like, if I was a fan of the show, then I know there were so many others, and like I saw that are fans. And so I said, well, if nobody's gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So I posted the episodes, and I never expected that people actually would comment, but they have, and it's all been a chorus of people just saying that the show's missed, it's needed, and I feel like, again, we've talked about this before, but I feel like if we had a show like this now, I feel like there would be so many more people. I don't know how many people y'all had, in the guest pile, but I feel like there'll be a lot more today because people are just so angry at each other and are just so, they can't really hear each other. They can't understand what the other person is saying. Like they're trying to get their point across, and the other one is going to get their point. And actually, one of the clips we have today that we've been trying to watch for a couple of weeks now is almost exactly that. Like both, sides are just arguing, and you're at a stalemate. You can't really get to a breaking point. And so I think today the show is even more relevant. Watching these shows back with you, I feel like these shows are like, these could be anybody today, because the problems they're not topical. The problems are practical. They're all the same all the time.
And because, times change, people don't. And we work to get them to see the error of their ways, to let them know you're not by yourself. We've all been tore up from the floor up. And I wanted to make sure that they knew and they understood with me, it would be a safe place. Oh, I would get into all knockdown, drag out arguments from these now, let me tell you about my team. This was our team. It wasn't my team. We worked together as a team. And these young people brought really relevant stories that needed to be addressed. So maybe in this little scintilla of a time in that hour show, they could see that they didn't have to stay stuck in that negative environment, that they really had the power to stand up and say, yes, this happened to me, and it was ugly. Mother love, it was ugly, it was horrible, it was terrible. I need to forgive them for me. And people don't understand the power of forgiveness. You always think it's for the other person. For 99.9% of the time, it's for you. It's for you who are dealing with this. Is for you who are being drugged down, but on the ground and trying to get yourself up, and you're scraping up your knees, and you're like, oh my goodness, how did I get into this predicament? How did I start this problem? And oftentimes people don't want to admit that they're like the problem, and they don't want to admit even that they could be the solution. And it becomes this, this yin and yang, this conflict, all of this negative energy. And forgive or forget, in my head, in my brain, and in my heart, and in my spirit was a place for people to face their truth, face their lies, and decide: do I forgive this person for whatsoever reason? Because it's never my call. I'm just there to be the conduit. I am there to be, your plain, you're not plain, but your balanced place where you can say, yay, I can do this, or nay, I'm not gonna do this. And let your no be all right. Because people will say, oh, yeah, I forgive you, but then they go on for the next 11 years. You know what she said to me? I did. She
Mm-hmm.
I was like, baby, it's time for you to let that go and allow your energy to be refilled and replenished with the universe so you don't have to carry that. Because people will say, oh, yeah, I forgive you, but then look who coming in the room. So you didn't. You did not allow that. And I always wanted to make sure that people knew they ought to be allowed that space where they can say, yes, I forgive you. I want this to be better. Or no, I don't even need to be around you, and I'm not gonna do it. And we don't ever have to talk to each other again. And this guy, Shaq C, you saw this and you said, let me do something about this. Let people know that there is a place. So now what you got for us today? Because you always got some had it. Well, oh wait, I got it. Tissue box.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let me move it closer. Because I watch it. I watch the and it's just like I'm there today. And we got on our forgive and forget t-shirts. Nobody right in the moment. Okay. My waterhead moment is over. Now I got my face melting off. We got family. See, I'm gonna tell you something. Family is who you're born into, and then family is who you get to pick to be your family. And we got family here that picked to be with us. They came from Atlanta. They're here from Cleveland. They're here from what's the name of the country? But some form. What's the name of the country, baby? Brunei, some fancy place.
Oh wow.
So they came to see their mama, they came to see their auntie, they came to see their sister, their brother, and I told them, I said, y'all come in, because my grandchildren, they're not mine, just by myself. Our grandchildren thinks we were born grown.
That's what kids are. Yep.
We had no childhood, none of that. And I remember our youngest grandson, they would, be flipping through the channels, right? And they were flipping through the channels, and Mr. Nanny came on. That was my first movie like ever. They flew me to Florida. They put me up in this nice condo. It was just lovely. The worst thing about Miami, don't get your hair did if you're a black woman. If you're a Latina woman, because I'm telling
A lot of frizz.
yeah, you come out look at all fabulous, everything all tight. Look, Miami afternoon, even your weave will get unloosed because and I love being getting wet like that and being able to dry off in the Miami sun. And so they were there, and he was like, okay, what's the deal? What's the deal? They treated me, and my mother had just passed away, and they treated me like I was their own. And they have said from that day to this day, Mother Love, we got you. And that's Hulk Hogan and Sherman Hemsley. Even though Sherman made his transition, the nuggets that he gave me and the confidence that he kept reassuring, and Terry kept reassuring, in me. Okay, don't you worry about the we got you. And when you know somebody got you, I'm Mother Love, and I got you. What we got for today?
Well, we got three stories that since we were just talking about family, a lot of these are about family. And the first story we've been trying to do for a couple of weeks now, but we're going to do it today. Her name is Orlando Ramsey. She came on the show because she wanted to demand an apology from her mother because she made her cook, clean, and change diapers when she was only 6 years old. All the while, the mother was doing other stuff. So she's there to hopefully get the apology that she's demanding. But will she? We don't know. So
That's
are you
why
ready?
we never forget. I'm ready.
Yep,
I was born ready, baby. You ain't got to when you're ready, you ain't got to get ready.
that's
Okay, I
right.
put the eyes through my teeth because I just know it. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Hello. Welcome to Forgive or Forget. Our guests are here today to either apologize to someone they've wronged or to demand an apology from someone who's wronged them. Many people like to blame their mothers for everything. I'd like to bring out our first guest, Arlonda Ramsey. Hi, Arlonda. Welcome. Arlonda says that her mother did something a mother should never do to her children. And now she wants her mother to apologize. Now, Arlonda, what is it that you want your mother to apologize for?
Well, basically, all my life, my mom has always abandoned me, just treated me badly. At 6 years old, she left me to cook and clean for her husband, change her children's diapers. I was just I always had to be the grown-up. I always had to do grown-up things. At 12 years old, she sent me to live with her husband who treated me badly, and she just was never there.
Do you know why she was never there? Did she ever give you any kind of an explanation?
Well, her men and drugs was always more important to her than I was. Her own daughter. And I demand an apology. I think I deserve one.
So now how bad did things get? And this has gone on your entire life?
My whole entire life. It'd be times where she would drop me off at my aunt's house, and I was glad to be there because it was like away from all the abuse from her boyfriends that did whatever they want with me.
She baby. Did you ever tell her about that?
Yes, I told her. I told her that they were doing this. She jumped on me, fought me one time, and
like physically jumped on you?
Yes, physically jumped on me and fought me, and it was just like she didn't care. It was all about her, what she wanted. No, not that she had a daughter that she had to raise. She missed out on a lot. A lot of my childhood things. I couldn't go to her to talk like a mother and daughter should. Little outings and stuff. Boyfriends that I may have had problems with. I couldn't go to her like a mother, like a daughter should to a mother, because she wasn't there.
You know, it sounds like to me, not only did she miss out on your childhood, it's like you didn't even have a childhood.
I did.
To have a 6-year-old, I don't even let my 8-year-old cook because she can't even see over the stove yet. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions they would like to ask this child, this young woman? You're just, you are a young woman, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yes, what's your question? Excuse me, what's your question?
Yeah, I have a question for you. Did you turn to anyone like a grandmother or anyone like that with questions about, personal things and boys and stuff? Like you said, you didn't turn to your mother, so did you have someone there besides your father?
That's a very good question. What kind of role model did you have?
My aunt, my uncle, who I stayed with, off and on. My aunt was always supportive of me. If I ever needed anything, she always made sure I had.
I'd like to know, because of the things that happened with you and your mother, did it affect you, like, in school? Was you able to still do good in school?
Yeah, I managed to do good, but I had to see a lot of counselors and stuff like that.
And you flunked out?
Yeah.
Did you go back? Have you gone back to school?
Yeah, I took classes to get my GED, which I'm doing now.
That's very good. You can do wonders with an education. Come on, stand up with me. What's your question?
I would like to know how many siblings are there, and do you have the same fathers?
No, it's I'm the oldest. It's 5 of us, and no, we don't have the same father. She married once, and she remarried again.
Did she take care of all the children, or did she put this burden off on all the rest of your sisters and brothers?
About a couple of years ago, the man she married, her husband, her first husband, he took custody of the last 3, and that was it. So.
Well, we helped Arlonda put a message to her mother, Linda, on videotape. And we have Linda with us live backstage today. Linda, can you hear me? Yeah. Linda, now you've been listening to your daughter from backstage. Now we're going to give you an opportunity to see the videotaped message that she's prepared for you. Let's all take a look at that message along with Linda as she sees it for the first time.
Mom, you owe me an apology. I'm tired of you choosing drugs and your man over your own daughter. You left me at 6 years old to change your children's diapers, to cook and clean for your husband. Then you sent me down with your husband so he could treat me badly. Mom, it's time for you to admit that you're wrong, to tell me that you're sorry, and we can make a fresh start.
Linda, now you've seen the videotape, and we're going to give you just a few minutes to decide whether you want to walk through that door and apologize to your daughter sitting here. Now don't say anything yet, and Alonda, you just wait a few more minutes, and when we come back, we'll find out if Linda's going to come through the door and apologize. We'll be right back.
So, yeah, that was a crazy first story, wasn't that? But yeah,
I couldn't even tell you how important it is, and it was for that program.
mm-hmm.
When we need an outlet, and you get an outlet, and then it's like, okay, no, we're not going to do this. Forget about all of that. People are in such pain. And now, when you think about it, all of us have lived in 2 centuries, in the 20th century and the 21st century. And we've got to make better choices. We've got to make smarter decisions. And we're not going to make it through the next time if we don't know and don't understand and are not willing to understand how much pain we are causing each other, and especially in our families. Oh my goodness. I remember, they said, when somebody wrote to us already, Shaq, they said, Shaq C, I love the fact that you put on these Forgive and Forget episodes and Mother Love. I'm a huge fan of yours. I remember when you was on ABC. Oh yeah, you don't really went back, baby. When I was on ABC on Hollywood Squares, and to tell the truth, it's time for FOF to make a return. I don't know. I had to go get my box of tissue. I knew we were doing a good thing. And I knew when they stopped it, it was about business. It wasn't about morality. It wasn't about helping heal people. It wasn't about showing us, pulling our resources together and understanding that we need to learn to love on ourselves and love on each other. And, this is still needed today. And it's not like, okay, they can't do the Mother Love show without Mother Love. I get that. We've got to find places in our hearts where we learn and we live. Forgive or forget. What's the next one? I ain't look at me. I ain't crying. I ain't crying. I say watery.
We're going to go back to Alonda now. Let's see what happens with
now,
her.
back to the show.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We're here with Arlonda Ramsey, who says that her mother, Linda, neglected her as a child. Arlonda has come to the show today to ask her mother to apologize for not being there for her the way she should have been. Linda, Arlonda's mother, is live backstage, and she's just seen a videotaped message from her daughter. We are now about to find out if Linda is going to give Arlonda the apology that she's asking for. Now, Arlonda, you know it's up to your mother now. If she's ready to apologize to you, she's standing behind that door right now. But if she's not willing to walk through that door, well, that means that she just sees things differently. Are you ready to find out?
Yes,
Go take your place in front of that door. Now, well, let's find out if Linda's behind there. Let's open the door. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait, hold it. Come on over here. Come on over here. Wait a minute, let's hear this. Come on over, sit down. How you doing?
How you doing, my girl?
How you doing? Now let's talk to her. Tell her let's hear about this thing.
One thing we gotta get clear. Okay, you knew supporting 5 kids by myself, okay? I had to have a job, Okay, didn't want to be on welfare, didn't want food stamps, okay? Because I felt like I was begging, okay? I don't beg and ask nobody for nothing. Everything that I have done in my life and the way I raised y'all, the things I gave y'all, I worked for it. I sweated for it. If I had to go to work 12 o'clock at night, work till 9, 10, 11 o'clock the next day, I've done it. Okay, I took any and every job. I have cleaned up doo-doo. I have did construction work. I have poured concrete. Mom. Okay, I have even disabilitated myself to see that my kids had what they need to raise them. Okay? Yes, I owe you an apology because I wasn't home. Okay? But the only reason I asked you to do the things that I did as far as taking care of your brothers and sisters because I couldn't be there because somebody had to provide for y'all. Okay?
Okay, Mom.
Okay?
Mom.
Now, as far as the things with my boyfriends, or my, not boyfriends, boyfriend, okay? When you told me about that, I sent y'all away to stay with your aunt.
Mom,
okay?
When I told you about that, that was when I came back from if it wasn't for Aunt Mildred.
No, when I was the one decided to send you to Mildred's house.
No, Mom, no, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Mom,
Yes,
when I wanted to go, when I wanted to go to Aunt Mildred's house, you sent me down there with Ted. No, matter of fact, you called Ted.
You the one said that you didn't want to stay with me no more because I was disciplining you.
Yes, I asked you.
I send you to stay with your cousin a weekend.
Mom, okay, wait a minute.
You turn
Linda,
around, you don't come home for 3 or 4 days.
Linda, okay, Yolanda,
Can
go
I get a
ahead.
chance to
Yes,
talk?
okay, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I asked him, I was, like I said, off and on stand with my
Tell her.
I was off and on stand with Aunt Mildred. I said, Mom, Aunt Mildred asked you, could she get custody of me so her and Uncle Leroy could actually raise me and send me to school? You said no. So you called your husband.
No, I didn't
You called your husband. You told him to come to Virginia to get me because you did not want me in Virginia.
You lied just then.
Mom,
you just
Mom,
told her
no, you did say that. Then you sent me down there.
I told you to be home Sunday night. You didn't come home till Tuesday.
Hold it. Wait a minute.
He beat me. He beat me that day I left. Beat me bad. And took me to North Carolina. Now, I told you, I guess I had been there. I had been there a couple of months.
Live with your dad.
I came back. He brought me here. He brought me back to Virginia to see you. And I said, Mom, I want to come home. Please let me come home. You took him in the room and told him to never bring me.
Who told you that?
Never bring me back.
Who told you I said that?
Mom, your husband said
Did you hear that from me?
But Mom,
no,
when I asked you to let me come home, did you?
When you asked me to let you come home?
Yes, I asked you to let me come home.
You did not come home.
No, you did not ask me.
Wait a minute.
You did not let me come home. If it won't.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm just a little lost here. You know, and you cannot lose the host of the show. Are you apologizing to her or not?
I'm letting her know what she wrong to apologize.
No, okay, wait a minute. Just answer my question. Are you apologizing?
Yeah, I will give her an apology for what I have done wrong, but anything other than that, no, she can't get an apology.
Well, why don't you tell her that now?
I will apologize for not being home because I was working late nights. I would apologize for trying to allow you or make you be a parent that I couldn't be there to be. Okay? I will apologize for the times I wasn't there to raise you myself.
Well, let me ask you this.
But other than that, there's no apology.
I'm grown now. Okay, yeah, all that happened as my childhood. Well, I am 22 years old today. And I called your house just Mother's Day to wish you a happy Mother's Day. And you let your husband hang the phone up on me. Why?
I let my husband.
You let him hang the phone up on me.
You know why?
Okay,
my husband
take your hat off. Take that hat off your head.
Every time you come to my husband's house, you have disrespected me.
Wait a minute. Okay, we have a question. What's your question, sir?
Listen, I understand you had to go out and make that money, but how you gonna let a 6-year-old stay home and take care of kids?
Wait a minute. Let me
Responsibility. You should have been there.
She was not 6 years old.
Well, how was she?
She was between 10 and 12.
Still, you can't even take care of a child.
Well, who gonna take care of my kids?
Babysitter. Who else?
She was not there. She was just cooking. It was an adult there with them. You're right. Yeah, that's
Wait a minute.
When
Wait
you
a
have
minute.
a daughter your own to act like mine, then
I was 6 years old in the house with her husband when she was out. Matter of fact, she just had a baby. Wow. And she was out, yes, We were staying right on Summit Avenue. You remember?
I was out partying.
Just a moment.
You were out partying.
I was out partying.
Yes,
Linda,
I had to.
Alonda, we have a question. What's your question?
Linda, do you feel that you love your daughter?
Me? Once upon a time, I used to love her very much. Now I got doubts.
You don't love her anymore?
I have doubts. Well, she make me doubt my love for her. You know why? Because I lost all trust in her.
Wait a minute, hold it, wait, time, wait a minute, hold it. I've been trying to be diplomatic about this. How can you say, as a mother, I have children, how can you say that you have lost,
I didn't say I lost all love for her. I said I don't love her as much as I used to. Because I don't have no trust in her no more.
Wait a minute, this is your child. Mother, this is your child. Good. Wait a minute.
Mother love, let me tell you something.
Good.
She's my child, and I didn't say I didn't love her. I don't love her as much as I used to. Because when a child disrespect me and call me and threaten to burn my house down, what kind of way I'm supposed to feel about her?
But look how you acting. Wait a minute. Look how you acting here. I don't appreciate you using that word on this show. Don't refer to your. You just used the word I would prefer.
I apologize.
Thank you, because
I'm saying this is the thing she have done to me.
Okay, but why? There had to be a reason if she's just gonna jump out and you don't.
Because I won't come out and talk to her, or because I don't want to talk to her on the telephone.
That's what it sounds like to me. You're in denial about the things that you've done to this woman.
You know what? I'm not in denial. It's
What do you call
the things she have done to me too. Okay.
What has she done? What has she done to you that you think she should have?
She have left me 35 miles away from home on a dark woody road to walk all the way back home.
You had a question.
I feel like this. You know what?
Thank you.
She did whatever she had to do to get back. So, hey,
wait a minute. When did family get to the point where what you do to me, I got to do one for you, and I got to go one better for you, and I got to take you down a little better? What is going on with that?
I wonder the same thing.
Family is not about tit for tat. You do this to me, I'll do that to you.
This is what I'm saying, Mother Love. Okay, I hurt her during her childhood. I apologize for that. Okay, that's all I can do. Is apologize and try to make up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
for some
wait
of
a
the
minute.
time that I lost.
This is what I'd like to know. This is what I'd like to know. Arlonda, is that the apology that you were looking for? Or some?
Not exactly.
Wait a minute.
Not exactly.
Okay.
That's the only one she's gonna get.
Mother love, I have did everything I can as a daughter. I've made the step to try to make this right between me and my mother. But like I said, it's her husband. Right now, it's definitely her husband.
Okay, wait a minute. He's not here to, wait a minute. Now, he's not here to defend himself.
He's right here.
Oh, he is it? Oh, he is. Where's the husband?
Oh, yeah.
You open up the can of worms, I'm going to show you where you're wrong.
Okay, well.
Yeah, show me.
Christmas.
I take it back. He's here to defend himself. Will you stand up with us, sir?
Yes, I will.
Don't.
No, I'm not going to. I don't have to.
Okay.
But you say, not letting you talk to your mother. It's not that, Londa. She didn't want to talk to you. She didn't want to talk to you. I told you, I said, look, your mother don't want to talk right now. She's not feeling good. You cursed me out on my phone. I'm paying the bill on. You come to my house, you threaten to burn my house down. You angry ain't got nothing to do with what I pay for rent in that house, not her.
But, sir.
All I'm saying is, even after all this happened, Mother's Day, I didn't answer the phone. Linda did. And she talked to her mother.
He took the phone.
I was in bed asleep.
He took the phone from her.
I was in bed asleep.
Just like you said.
When she hung the phone up from Mother's Day, she said,
everybody cannot talk. Let him talk.
She said Happy Mother's Day to her mother. I said, who was that? She said, lady. I said, what? She's saying Happy Mother's Day? Yes. I didn't even talk to her. I did not talk to her. Christmas, when she threatened to burn down my house, in order to get her and her, yes, she did. In order to get her and her daughter back together because she was hurting, I apologized for it. She did to me. I went to her house and apologized to her.
Why? Okay.
Gave her $100 to buy her kids clothes. I gave her $100 for herself, and then she come back a week later and cussed me out again and threatened to burn down my house, called the police on me. And threat said I was feeding her mother drugs. I don't do no drugs. She did all of this. Why? Why is it every time we get together, she wants to have something to say to me? Why does she always disrespect me? I didn't do nothing. Her mother said she don't want to talk. She don't talk.
Okay, not okay. I'm glad that you. Okay, thank you. Calm down now.
I'm fine.
Okay, you all right? I know CPR.
Don't worry
I
about
want
it.
you to have no heart attack up in here.
Could I please have a chance to say
Okay, now
respond?
what? Yes, please do respond to this.
Okay.
And what about you want them to burn the house down?
Okay, I didn't say anything about burning this house down. It's been about 3 months ago. My sister and myself, we were on the phone. My mom didn't know I was on the phone, but she was talking to my sister, and we could hear him in the background threatening to shoot my mother in the head. He said that he was going to shoot my mother and himself in the head. That's what you want me to do, Linda? You want me to shoot both of us? So I heard that. Of course, I'm going to go out here and see what's wrong. And I said, Mom, when I went out there, I picked my sister up and went to where they live, and I sat there. I guess everything was supposed to have been okay or whatever. I said, well, just tell my mom I just want to talk to her and make sure she's okay, and I'll leave. Simple as that. He come out here with an old butcher knife, trying to run me down with the butcher knife. Then he went back in the house and got a gun and was threatening to shoot me. So I called the police. No one else called the police after all this was going on, so I called the police.
They did.
And yes, he does do drugs.
You
he
know
got
what?
my mama.
Wait a minute. Because there's so much anger, there's so much pain, there's so much bitterness. She is so mad at you.
Fine.
Okay? Wait, Linda. Wait a minute, listen. Wait a minute, listen, Linda. Wait a minute, hold it. This is my show, wait a minute.
Okay.
Now, Linda, you know, like I know, you cannot change who you are. This is your daughter. This is your mother. There is so much going on here. Please accept the fact that she took a step to bring you here to ask for an apology. Maybe it wasn't the apology that she wanted. You know, it was the one that it was what you gave. The two of you, if there's anything that we can do after this is over and after we all finish jumping up and down, and you, because that's your husband, that's her husband. You're an adult now. The best thing you could do is do what you did. This is as far as you have, this is where you've come, and this is where you've come. Please understand that you are family, and you will have to learn to mend the fence. You've made a big step. You understand? You made a big step. You made a big step too, Linda, because you came through the door. It might not have been as pretty as you have wanted it, but it's a start. And a 10,000-mile journey starts with one step, even if it's a baby step. And that's what you've taken. It's just so hard because I know how important family is, but I know how this bitterness and this anger can linger. I know how it can fester. This is what it will do when you don't say, I'm sorry. You got to start someplace.
I apologize, my love. That's the best.
Can I just ask, what did you say? What did you want to say to her on Mother's Day? What if we let's just pretend that it's Mother's Day. Let's make this right here on my little show, right here. Just make it a little Mother's Day. And you say to her what you wanted to say to her. Maybe we could start there.
Mom, I want to say that because of all that has happened in my childhood, and even there, that I love you. I've always having you always know that. I've always loved you. Mom, you know that. And I've tried to get it right between us. But I can't if you let George
listen,
Mama.
Right now, these wounds are mine that I have, not only hers.
Don't tell me. Tell her.
Tell her.
I've got to heal. My wounds.
They have got to heal.
Well,
I got a lot of hurt in me, and I got a lot of anger in me.
How do you think it feel when I had to go? I couldn't go to my mother's house for Mother's Day. I had to go to Aunt Mildred's house because she's the only mother I ever knew.
No, this is your mother. Wait a minute.
You had no respect for me. That's why you couldn't come to my house. You didn't know how to respect my home.
Listen.
You didn't even know how to respect my home when you was a teenager.
Mom, my kids.
Listen, you two. Like I told you, whatever we can do, she's willing to put it behind you. This is how we go forward. You gotta help.
I've been willing.
Wait a minute. Stop. Okay, well then we're gonna stop with the anger and we're gonna stop with the arguments right now. You're willing and she's willing. We got half the battle conquered. Arlanda, Linda, you know Mother Love is gonna be here for you. This is not just bring you in and fly you out or whatever. We're gonna be, and we have a counselor standing by to talk to both of you. If you want to do that. if you want to do that. I do thank you both for coming to share.
No.
I really do thank you for coming to share the story.
You're not ready to what?
We'll be back after this. We'll be back.
Of all the stories, the Francina is one, but these two, I am so curious as to what happened between the two of them. I really am.
I really want to know, did she stay with George, who is her husband? Did she see the foundation that has been shaken with her daughter because of her mother's relationships? And is that fair to the mother to say, for her daughter to say, well, I don't like your husband and I don't want to do anything that he's saying to do, and you got to kind of pick between George and I? And that's unfair. I would really, really love to know.
I would really love to know that. And I believe in the comments, I don't know if it was Orlando's, let me check, her sister or friend or one of them. Let me see. Yeah, her friend commented, and then let's see. Somebody in the comments was her grandma. Linda was this person's grandmother, and said that unfortunately she went home to God in 2016, and Orlando is this lady's aunt. And okay, so this is kind of an update, I guess. I haven't even seen these comments. Oh my goodness gracious! I'm giving you a live update right now.
We got a live update on host guest on the show.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently they did make things right before she passed away, so that's good. But she definitely was a great person, regardless of what types of problems they had on the show. Okay, so this was from Kayla. So that was her grandmother. So thank you for that. Okay, we would still love to have you on the show so you could talk about this, because this was really emotionally charged, and I could see you going. And even on the show, you were very emotional, because that's the point of the show. That was basically it. That was it. People coming on the show and making the attempt to talk. And clearly, at the time, the two of them just, even though you tried to give them and make progress and try to, knock down those barriers, there was still a lot of hurt there, especially in Linda's eyes. You could see it in her eyes that she was just so angry and frustrated. So I wonder, it's just, yeah.
And you could see it. You could see it in both of them. Like mom is, it's like grating on her, like putting, on one of those graters that you do the cheese, and she's feeling all of this. And she didn't think she did anything wrong. She thought she was doing the best she could for her children and herself. And oftentimes when women have children and they get involved in another relationship, it's going to be some conflict. And that's why you got to know what kind of mettle you have. I mean, here was a guy who was saying, I love this woman and I want to take care of her. And her daughter was like, I don't feel like he's doing nothing for me. And so it becomes that push, pull with listen, even when you got a mother and daughter in intact relationship, having a flashback, you have to be willing to say, I see your side of it. You don't have to say, I agree with it. And you don't disrespect your mother under any circumstances. Not your mother, not your father. Scripture says, honor thy mother and thy father, that your days are long. Don't say nothing about your mom and daddy's days being long because you're not honoring them. That's on you. And we have to understand the responsibilities that we have in the linking fence of the world. We are somebody's daughter, mother, auntie, sister. You're somebody's brother, father, uncle, best friend. And we don't need to be tearing each other down like this. But people got issues. What's the next one? Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to take her off today. Okay.
Well, this next one, this next guest, her name is Rebecca Lee, and in this clip, she's coming on the show to finally tell her friend that she called CPS, Child Protective Services, on her because she was negligent to her child. Yeah.
I remember that. And as soon as you pull up Rebecca Lee, I know people think I just fell out the sky and I don't have relatives or friends that love me or anything like that, and like I have a past. I remember a lot of. I remember stuff. I work and I know things. Uh, can the Kellys? Can you guys come here? The Kellys and the Moores. This is my pseudo family. We got to pick, and I just want you all to meet them and know that there are people that love me anyway. Oh, okay. And never mind. They done went to get something to eat. Now they know I went into the kitchen and I was cooking a whole bunch of food. Never mind.
Okay.
But the Kellys are here, the Moores are here, the Allens are here. The Allen came from Georgia out to go to the Super Bowl, and he said, I'm going to see my brother and my sister-in-law. And then our other friends and family that we got to pick, they came up from San Diego. Their kids are in the Navy. They are officers, and they got big T stuff that they're doing. So I knew it got too quiet out there. So they didn't just abandon me, but I do have them here, and they love me. Okay, so let's go with the next one.
All right, here we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Forgive or Forget. Let's meet our first guest.
My name is Rebecca Lee. 6 years ago, I turned my best friend into Child Protective Services because she was totally neglecting her son. I don't regret what I did, but I do regret not telling her that I was the one. I hope she'll forgive me.
Rebecca, hi. Why did you turn your friend in for child neglect?
Well, 6 years ago, Rena and I moved in together. We were both single parents, and she just started partying, hanging out with the wrong crowd. She was drinking all night, just about every night. She'd come home with people I didn't even know. They'd fall asleep on the floor, on the couches, whatever, wherever. I had my son sleep in the room with me because I never knew who was going to be there when I woke up in the morning. Never knew what was going to go on. I would always get up with my son, and her son would already be awake and running around the house. And there was one morning that she was passed out on the couch, and there was a glass of what I thought was apple juice on the coffee table, and so did her son. So he went over there to drink it, and it turned out that it was straight tequila.
Oh, my.
He was choking and coughing and throwing up.
How old was her son at the time?
2. And she woke up enough, to say, "Oh, baby, don't drink that. That's tequila." But that was it.
Oh, a 2-year-old knows what tequila is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was another morning that I came out of my room with my son, and her son was in the hallway with a razor in his mouth. He was sucking on it like a lollipop, and I just about died right there. I didn't want to scare him because I didn't want him to get cut. I didn't know what to do. I got it away from him, and thank goodness, he was not bleeding or anything. And this happened on 2 other occasions.
With the same razor incident?
Yes. And so this was probably the 3rd time, and I just lost it.
So what do you say to her? You do try to talk to her about her not taking care of her son and staying out and these incidents. And what does she say?
I think it went in one ear and out the other. I mean, that morning with the razor, I slapped her in the face to wake her up, and I threw it at her. This is what he had in his mouth. What are you doing? And, she got up and she put it up somewhere, and she checked him out to make sure he was okay, but then she just goes right back to sleeping on the couch.
So she never tries to get up with him in the morning, and
No, because she knew I was there to do it, that, I was getting up with my son, and so I would just take care of hers as well. But I was afraid to ever leave, because if I couldn't bring him with me, I didn't want him left there alone, because I knew she'd be asleep all the time, he would be unsupervised, and I never knew what was going to go on.
So what about, did you ever say to her, well, Rena, take your baby with you, because I want to go out?
Oh, I'd tell her that I would want to go out and do something, and she'd say, oh, okay, well, I'll babysit for you. I didn't quite want to go there. And, you know, I mean, when I did go out, I had a babysitter for my son. And I always got up with my son. And so she just knew that I would take care of her son as well.
So now tell us about when you felt the need so great to call Child Protective Services.
It was probably right after with the razor. That just really blew me away. And I was supposed to go on an outing with my mother for the day, and I was afraid to leave him there because she was passed out on the couch. I didn't want to leave, but I could not bring him with me. So I went to a neighbor's and I called the non-emergency police just to see if there was something they could do. You know, I thought maybe if they went and knocked on the door and woke her up, you know, maybe it would scare her or whatever, but they said they couldn't do that. I told them the whole situation with the tequila and the razors, and you know that she drinks all night, she comes home, she sleeps all day, and that I needed to leave. You know, I had my son to think about, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So he turned everything over to Child Services, and it was about a week later they sent somebody out. He came in, asked her a bunch of questions, and then he left. And she was good as gold for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then she just started right back in. And you know, when the man was out there asking questions, he couldn't ask her anything specific because she would have known right then and there that it was me. And with the crowd that she was with, I didn't want her knowing that. And when she started getting right back into it, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So I left and I went back home to my mother's. And
so to this day, she still does not know it was you?
She has no idea. It's been 6 years. She eventually had to move back home with her mom, and she got straightened up. She's doing wonderful now. I'm really proud of her now. She loves her son very much. But it's been 6 years, and I've never had the guts to tell her.
Well, we sat down with Rebecca and helped her prepare a special videotape message for her friend Rena. We have Rena with us live backstage. Let's get her set up to join us now. Rena?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hi.
I want you to take a look at Rebecca's message to you, and then I'm going to ask you to make a decision about whether you want to come through the door. Let's all take a look at Rebecca's message.
Rena, I really need to get this off my chest. 6 years ago, when you were neglecting your son, you were more interested in your partying and hanging out with your friends than you were interested in being a mother. He drank tequila one morning thinking that it was apple juice. More than once, I found him sucking on razor blades like they were lollipops. I was very worried and very scared, so I was the one that called Child Protective Services on you. I didn't mean to keep it from you this long, and I'm sorry that I lied to you, but you needed a serious wake-up call. I didn't want him taken from you, and I didn't do it to hurt you. I wanted to help and get you on your feet and get you going. And I'm very proud of the mother that you have become today, and I just want you to know that, and I hope that you can forgive me.
Rena, don't say anything yet. You've heard what Rebecca has to say. We're going to give you a few minutes to think about it for a while, and while we take a short break, and when we come back, I'll ask you if you're ready to come through the door and accept her apology.
All right, there we go. Let's. Oh, go ahead. You wanted to say something?
I don't even understand why people don't see that people need a place to land, need a place to say I'm sorry, need a place to say I didn't mean it, and that you wouldn't do this. And when you told me that you couldn't find the shows anywhere, I'm like, is that some kind of a sign, that these people don't understand the importance of, even if it wasn't me, even though my fabulous talk show host, if it was me, somebody else, because people need to know that they're not here by themselves. And I know that's a big reason why I kept saying, okay, yeah, y'all want to take it off of TV, but you ain't going to take it out of mother love. You ain't going to take my passion and my compassion for my fellow brothers and sisters as human beings. And I am not the do-all, be-all, tell-all of everything. I don't know everything. I know everything else. I don't know everybody. I know everybody else. And I know we must stick together. Okay, what's the next one? Okay, what had happened after?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. We've been talking with Rebecca Lee.
Okay. I'm shutting up. Okay,
who says that when she turned her good friend Rena into Child Protective Services 6 years ago, she felt strongly that she was doing the right thing. What she regrets is that she never admitted to Rena that she was the one who did it. Well, Rebecca, Rena knows now because she's heard your confession. Now, she could be there on the other side of that door ready to accept your apology, but you have to understand she might not be there. Maybe she feels like you betrayed your friendship. Are you ready to find out? And can I just say, between you and I'm sure many of these people might agree with me, I would have done the same thing. I commend you because you could have very well saved that. No matter how it turns out. Are you ready to go take your place and find out if she's there? Okay, go take your place in front of the door. Okay, Rebecca, let's open the door. Don't. There you go. That's right. Because as I said, now she wasn't there. And this is your friend. But we have her live backstage. Rena?
Yeah.
You want to talk to us and tell us what's going through your head right now?
If everything that she said had been true, I would be the first person to commend her. I'm not saying that I didn't screw up and that I didn't need a wake-up call, because I did, but it wasn't to that extent. It wasn't for where she had to smack me. It wasn't where my kid was sucking on any razor blade either, because if it had gotten to that extent and stuff, I'd want my kid taken away from me. And she was right there beside me, partying along with me, and her kid was there too. She makes it sound like she's totally Little Miss Innocent and wasn't doing anything, and that's wrong.
Tell us your side, Rena. Tell us what happened from your point of view.
She never talked to me about any of this. None of it.
Were you out partying?
I was partying, yes, and no, it wasn't every single night. And no, it wasn't where I would sleep all day. Because for one thing, I know darn well that if I had been that bad, Becky wouldn't have let me. If she had to come in and drag me out of bed by my hair, she wouldn't have let me. And yes, when she did get to go out, and I did babysit for her quite a few times.
What about the tequila incident?
The tequila incident, she never tried to smack me awake.
No. Did you leave the tequila in the baby drank?
I don't remember tequila. There was a time that there was beer and stuff laying, and a can of beer laying on the coffee table or something that didn't get picked up, that he might have taken a sip on, but he never got sick and was throwing up or any. My child was never rushed to the hospital. If he had put a razor blade in his mouth, he would have gotten cut. At 2 years old.
Not necessarily. Listen, Rena, I have taken a razor blade out of a child's mouth who did not get cut. So I have seen that. I know that this can happen. And I know the franticness that a person feels when they see a baby with a razor blade in their mouth.
I'd freak out too.
So now, Rebecca,
I would never want anything like that going on, and I certainly would not ever.
Well, you're shaking your head. What's going through your mind now?
There's about 1 million people that were there that know. There was tequila on that table. He did drink it. He did choke. She was sleeping. He did have, it wasn't a razor blade, it was a razor.
That's what she said, it was a razor, like one of those razors, like one of the disposable razors?
2 or 3 times. And that was the one time.
Why wasn't I ever told and stuff about it? And you can't tell me that you did, because I know better.
Rena, I did. I slapped you awake that morning and threw the razor at you.
Yeah, well, I think your reality is a little different, because I have always stated for a fact
Obviously, I was sober then, and you weren't that morning.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's stop with the arguing. This is about trying to forgive it forgive one another and move past this. Now, Rena,
if it was true, I'd forgive her for it.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. When Child Protective Services came to you,
Becky was right there, and she backed me up with everything I was telling them.
Was it a wake-up call for you?
It was a wake-up call a little bit, yeah. It was. Because like I said, I wasn't Little Miss Innocent, but it was not to that extent.
Yes, it was, Rena. When I was afraid to leave him home with you, you needed something. And whatever I was telling you was not working.
Did you back her up to the police with what she was saying when they came?
They came out and were asking questions like if he was being physically or sexually abused. And no, that was not the case. That was not happening.
And that's not what you told them was happening?
No, it is not. It is not.
Oh, but it is, because the letters that I got, which I still have to this day, were saying that I was beating him with belts and paddles and spoons and all kinds of things. And even you know, I don't believe in that.
I know that, Rena, and I never told them that. And you know what? I have 2 other witnesses from the people that I used their phone. They were there when I talked with the police officer the whole time, and none of that was ever said. Not by me.
Well, we have a few questions. Yes.
Hi. Well, I think that usually if they're going to take your children, they had to have some concrete evidence. They're not just going to come and take your children not having some concrete evidence, you know, to go on. So
they, you know, I told them
they never took my child away.
I did not want that. I told
my
them
child was never taken away.
But you did say it was a wake-up call that you knew you had to become a better parent.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Well, I believe that, Rebecca, that's your name? Mm-hmm. Rebecca did you a favor, Rena, because if there's drinking around a 2-year-old, who knows what would have happened.
Oh, but it's okay for her to be drinking around her 1-year-old?
But you're the mother. That's your child. I have a 2-year-old daughter. I would not drink around my child, bring other adults to drink around my child, and I know that they're going to be sleeping on my floor, and, I mean, that's total disrespect to your baby. How you going to do that to your child? When my child see you drinking, I mean, you're not stable when you're drinking, so anything can happen to that child. That's just total neglect on your part. And Rebecca, you did her a favor. She deserves it.
Applaud her for being there through the whole thing and her partying right along beside me with her 1-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just have a comment. I feel that if you were her real friend, when the cops did come, you should have stuck to your word and said what you really saw, and you should have told her from the beginning what you felt, that she was neglecting her child.
I did tell her. I told her many times, and that was why I ended up calling. Rena, yes, I did.
Wait. But Rebecca, you did say that you did not tell her this for 6 years, that she did not know it was you. That's why you came to tell her that you were sorry for that.
Right.
So you did not tell her. Yes.
If Rebecca isn't telling, if you don't believe Rebecca's telling the truth, what do you think her motive behind all this is?
To get on TV.
You don't respect how difficult a situation this is. You need to be a woman and stand up for what you did and own up to what you did.
I have screwed up. That's not a problem. I admit I did screw up, but not that bad.
Yes, ma'am.
But Rena, the whole
I
point
would not want my child with me if it had been that bad.
But Rena, the whole point was not to hurt you, and it definitely was not to have him taken away. That
I
is
just can't
definitely
believe
what
you
was told.
Would lie about this stuff to this extent.
Listen, ladies. We are not going to get any place arguing back and forth and with this bickering. Rebecca, you have done what you needed to do to let her know that it was you. I personally think you did her a favor. Rena, even though you might be angry about it and been out of shape and upset, you have to admit in your heart she did do you a favor, because you admitted yourself it was a wake-up call for you to get yourself in check. And for that, you should be grateful, because you are, and Rebecca has said, you are a better mother. And let that be at least the great thing that can come out of this, that your son is okay and that you are a better mother. I thank you for sharing your story with us. We'll be right back.
Them mother loves had to get control of that whole story.
Yep.
See, my heart breaks when people are in these kinds of situations and you see it happening every day, and it's just gotten worse since we were doing that show on a regular basis. I mean, you have families that are destroying each other from the inside out, and family members and friends really don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. They don't know where to go. That's why I keep y'all. All you got to do, baby, just come tell Mother Love. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm a finger, a click, a bot. What? Not a bot. Because people. We all need help. We all need some place where we can land, where we can say, "Okay, I'm gonna be all right when I get here." So, what was your take on that, Shaq?
To me, I would not have told. I would not have gone and said I told.
Or that have been one you taking it to your grave.
Right. I would have said I did it because, I mean, if that's the case, if she's doing all of that, partying, tequila, oh no, yeah, you call Child Protective Services and you protect that child like that. That's period, bar none.
But they want you to ignore that. I'm sure that I've said this many times, but probably not on this program that we're doing. And I watch my family of social workers have to go through literally a gauntlet to get a child out of a volatile environment. And then they'll say, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. But that's the reason why you getting your child taken away, because you did not do anything. Mm-hmm. And we must do something. And this has really been a godsend for a lot of people. And I just want you all to know, if you were a guest or you know somebody who was a guest on Forgive or Forget or the Mother Love Show on LA Talk Radio, reach out to us because we're here. We want to know what you're doing, what's going on. I don't just want to be, okay, yeah, they were a guest on the show and just forget about it. I would like to know how they're doing, how they managed. Did you get to a place where you found healing, or did it just, whatever it is, I do want to hear from them. Tell people how they can get in touch with you so they can hear more and see more. Because this was not by happen chance, y'all. This cat's been 7 years of his life making sure I was all right, making sure you were all right. And I don't know. I can't even say how can I repay you, because I wouldn't know what to do. I can make you a bomb pound cake from scratch though, and some donuts, and I make my own pickles and applesauce and apple butter. I'm good for something. I'm just saying.
That's good, but you have already gave me, and you gave in a lot of people a lot, but just by your presence, just by you being on that show and you being who you are. So that is my, that's my gift. But you can watch more of these wonderful Forgive or Forget episodes at my account, Shaq C. Just type in Shaq C or type in Forgive or Forget, and you'll definitely find my channel. I have a whole lot of other stuff there too. I have a lot of other talk shows too, and some cooking shows. So if you just want to relax and take your mind off and maybe cry a little bit like Mother Love's been doing.
Okay, just go ahead. Ask you to bring all that up. I'm just trying to. No, I tried to be the pseudo waterhead. It just gets me.
It's such a great show.
It just gets me here and in my spirit. And I just want to go up to them and hug them. And sometimes I just want to go up and slap them upside their stupid rat. Because you know you wrong. You know you wrong. You need to get whooped with a grandma's shoe. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody. Not physically. Well, not anymore. He took my knife. I'm good. So it's just, and I see this and I hear it every day. And I tell the kids, they're not kids, they're grown-ups. And for you as well, who has seen and has thought, and even my bonus son, all of them, I love you guys so much. I love you that you love me and you see my crazy and you love me anyway. Love me anyway. So what else gonna do? Because this is just like so cool. And what kind of response have you been getting from people, if any?
People are from doing this. People are just happy to see you. They're happy to see you, that you're kicking and still doing it and still here. And yeah, the response has been great. I'm looking for some more people to comment on these channels as we're playing these videos, and so hopefully that happens. So I'm just excited to keep this thing going and keep the memory of this show alive.
And we gonna have we got a new L show that plays right into this. And it's pretty much the same premise. Instead of I know, you know what, because I love Forgive and Forget. I love the fact that this is what everybody doesn't call it Forgive or Forget. You know what they call it, right?
And Forgive and
No,
Forget.
they call Forgive and Forget or the Mother Love Show. I'm like,
oh, okay, yeah.
It's not forgive and it's forgive or. You get to pick one or the other. And it's difficult for a lot of people to find forgiveness in their hearts, especially when somebody that they know, somebody that they love, somebody that they thought they could be trusted with has broken that dignity, that you will always look out for me, you will always protect me, and these kids and these people don't even understand how could that's my daddy. How could he pick up a chair and throw it at me? Mama, what's going on? Kids don't understand that. Adults don't understand that more often than not. People talking about, I was talking to this lady the other day about Tina Turner and Tina Turner.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that Tina Turner, her thing was she didn't think that you would love her if you didn't hit her. And I was like, that ain't the case. What is wrong? And I found out that there are women who are like that. There are men who are like that because they have not seen anything that's toward compassion. It's toward violence, and you do what I tell you to do, and here's a rose and here's a steak, put it on your black eye, and I go out there and do your thing. And we absolutely don't need to do that with our families, with our sisters, with our daughters. We've got to look up and stand up and speak up, because they said, I don't know where it was, might have been scripture that said, only thing that cannot be forgiven is suicide, because you're not there to ask for forgiveness. And that's a powerful, powerful environment to be in. Something like your friend who you think is your friend, she turned you into social services because you got the 2-year-old, you leaving tequila out, the child sucking on a razor blade, and she just looked like the other lady who wouldn't come to the door. She just seemed like she didn't give a rat's patootie how Rebecca felt. And I'm with you. I would have just kept it to myself.
Yeah.
I would have just kept it to myself. Some stuff you don't need to tell your people in your family. Some stuff you don't need to tell your husband and your wife. Some stuff you don't tell your children. Some stuff. And it's not being, methodical or maniacal or anything like that. Everybody doesn't need to know everything about you and your dark secrets, because you don't know what that would do to the person that you're saying that to. Oh yeah, I remember, when you had tequila all out and your child was drunk. Look, the smell of tequila would get me. What the song is? Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Tipsy.
This is water. Oh, and everybody in the club is tipsy on tequila. And to not understand, and I'm not trying to downplay that or make it like a joke, because it's not. There are certain things that you don't put your children in that environment. You don't. I remember one time that we were, it was just all of us, and I'm just telling this story from my point of view. I don't know what the other members felt like. This is from my point of view. We had an uncle, God rest his soul. When I say God rest their soul, they did. So we had an uncle that he just loved up on us. And he just loved, and it wasn't like nothing perverted, I didn't think, or anything. He probably would have took a bullet for us. And I didn't understand what he was doing until I got to be older. And he would get myself and one of my other siblings, I ain't gonna mention their name or whatever, but you know it ain't but 5 or 6 of us. So anyway, we would get all dressed up and dolled up, and he literally would pick us up in his arms and carry us down to the next block so our patent leather shoes didn't get that salt on. You know how the salt from New York snow get on your boots? Yeah,
Yep.
okay. So you with me with this, and all the people that's been in snow. So he would get us all dressed up, and he would take us out, and he would hold us both up in his arms, so our shoes didn't get patent leather with patent leather, and he would sit us on the far end of the bar. Okay, so say the bar was like we'll say like 18 seats because it was a pretty decent bar, and we're sitting on the end, or like 2 seats from the end. My uncle is standing right there where they're coming out with the food and everything. They had a big giant pig foot jar. We didn't have pig feet anymore, but I'm just trying. And he would say, "Y'all could come over here and look at them girls, but you better not touch them." We didn't know what it was, and they would come over and put, $2 in the pig jar, $5 in the pig foot jar. They would come over and okay, this me and her, and this. Wait a minute. Okay, let me use the tissue box. So this is her, and this is me. This her and me, and they would come up. Oh, they smell so. Oh, don't you put your, and they would go. He said, "Don't you put your hand on us," and he would whip out this like a switchblade, like that's why I carry the knife. A switchblade like this one with a pearl handle. I didn't even know that. And he would, "Don't touch it. If you even like brushed on our jacket, or you had to put $20 in." And $20 back in the early days was like your rent payment. And when we left, we didn't leave until the pig foot jar was full. And and they didn't, they just put them in there. And after a while, you want to smudge them down. Make a long story short, I didn't realize he had us on display for the pedophile people, that wanted to look at little girls and touch little girls and do. It didn't bother me because we got money from them. I'm like, okay. And they would say, "Where you get that money from?" We said, "Uncle, we got it from the party." And then this must have went on, I'm gonna say a good month, like every Saturday. And when my mom and them found out, they was ready to cut him up with his own switchblade. And I didn't see my uncle. I don't think I saw him for another 20 years. And then fine, that's whatever the situation was. But you have to be mindful of the situations that you're putting your children in front of, and what they're gonna know and see, and what's that going to do with their psyche. This baby, this little boy did not even understand, anything about, leaving stuff on the table or fine razor blades or whatever. You have as the adults in the room. And that's when they start losing their focus, because they're like, "Oh, the baby's asleep. Don't worry about it." And they start whispering, and we can't whisper. Like, "Okay, Shaq, okay, you go over there to the door. Or don't close the door." We can't whisper. So don't even put your children in that kind of environment. Again, this is Shaq C. This is my number one baby. 2 to 7 years. And I'm never, ever, ever gonna forget that. And thank God for the internet, internet, because you have to know how just humbled I am that you have taken your time to do this. In the first stage, looking for them, the second stage, editing them, the third stage, getting in touch with us, and we now in the fourth stage. We got something going on. The fact that you have been willing to do this. So wait a minute, did you find a girlfriend yet? Because he's single, y'all, and he's a good looking guy, got good IG.
I don't want to put that burden on y'all. I have bad credit and I'm looking for a place to stay. So I don't know women. I'm not good for anybody right now.
We'll talk about this when we're not on the air, but we got something for that, don't you? And that's what you got to tell. Look, I got bad credit. I owe on my car. I took out a loan on my car. You have to tell them that, because these chicks nowadays, I couldn't even imagine what single life is like for you guys out there now. How bad is it? Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel?
No. I mean, there are women who just like, they're sure of themselves, but then there are some who are just like, you don't want to talk to them because they're like, and if you say hi to them, they're like, "Oh," like, I don't want to play games. I don't want to be like, oh, if I want to talk to you, I just want to say hi to you. I'm not trying to, get in your pants,
Well, not
So
yet anyway.
no, not yet. But I just want conversation. But I don't know. I guess like people's their psyche is just a lot more raised up. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like nobody's really likes to let their guard down anymore and be themselves. They have to be a another version of themselves.
And it's all right to have a 2.0, but you still got to have a 2 to get to the point. Oh, you don't just go out here. Yeah. My husband and I, we talk about this because we have a lot of single and or divorced and or widow friends or widower friends who they just want to be with somebody cool, that somebody gets with them. And with this internet dating, which I have to say, it might not be for everybody, but I got members in my family who met on online in the dating services, and they are just totally in love. And they were like, I would have never found you, or I never would have found her if I hadn't went to social media. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there's always somebody, and you don't just have to settle for anybody. You have to work with who you're going to be comfortable with. And let me tell you this is how you know you're comfortable with them. When you hug them and all your body parts fit. Her head fits right here. His arm is right here. He holds you just enough around your back. And you're like, all right, buddy, let's go. It is about finances. And especially in this gimme, 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 I want this world. What are you willing to do? What are you bringing to the table? And I just want to say for my new pseudo son right here, that's Shaq C. I just claimed him already. So give them your how they can get in touch with you. They want to see some more of the shows, and tell them what else you're doing, because I know you're doing other stuff besides loving on Mother Love.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is at Shaq C. I have a Discord server. It's called Broadcast Plaza. You can search Discord and Broadcast Plaza. We talk about broadcasting and all types of other fun stuff. So if you want to join that, you can. What else do I have? Oh, my email address is atomicdog22@gmail.com. So you can email me if you forgive or forget guest, or if you have an idea or for a video or anything, you can email me. And yeah, that's about it.
And you can also go to the motherloveshow.com. I'm on the podcast Monday through Fridays from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Send over your resume, your bio, your book, your song. We will allow you to shamelessly promote what you're doing. We got to stick together. We got to look out for each other. So that's me. Check out Mother Love Show, The Mother Love. I found out I come up on the first page of the SEO, search engine optimization. I'm learning the lingo. I'm getting the lingo because it's a whole nother language that we talk. And while y'all talking in anagrams, even though some of I didn't know about this one. This is my new favorite one. Wait a minute. FAFO. Okay, that's my new favorite. Oh my God. I was like, and my soror told me that we belong to Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, and now all the sorors gonna know. And you know who told? I was like, that's my favorite. I love the anagram. And this is a phrase I love about President Joe Biden. When people talking stupid to him, he'll say, go somewhere and pound sand. He make that sound so nasty. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you so much for the love that you have for Mother Love. And I wish I could take credit for it. I cannot. And I cannot take credit for the passion that you have and the insight that you have to see, these many years ago, how a simple talk show can help a lot of people. Help a lot of us, help a lot of others, because that's what we do. Thank you, baby. And before we go, I just want to let you all know, no matter how big or tall, short or small, thick or thin, doesn't matter what skin you're in, Everybody needs some mother love now and then. Come on, babies. Love, peace, and hair grease. How about that? I love you, sweetie pie. Thank you.
I love you too. Night.